Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening. As always, a reminder that this podcast does not constitute real estate advice, legal advice, broker advice, or advice of any other nature. This is an informative podcast. And if you need advice, please reach out to the correct professional who can help you. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Launch, Grow, Harvest Podcast, Business Growth Coaching with Connie Boona and Roland Kim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Connie Boona.
And I'm Roland Kim.
This is the Launch, Grow, Harvest podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about effective steps that you can take in the first year of your business to start to build a successful, repeatable, and thriving business.
Yeah.
It's a big topic.
Big topic, your first year. I think by now, if you're in your first year of real estate, you must have heard lead gen and you must have heard about the 80-20 rule. And that's kind of two things that I focus in on, where a lot of people spend too much time working on items in their business that aren't in their top 20%. And they avoid the lead gen aspect of their business, which is the lifeblood of any successful business, but certainly being successful in your first year of real estate. Mm-hmm. So if my brother, I don't have a brother, but if I had a real estate brother and he jumped into real estate, the way I would explain that to him is the mornings are for lead gen. You got to protect that. You got to build relationships and get more folks that you can help into your database and offer great value to them. And the afternoons are servicing their needs. Early on, if you don't have clients, the whole day can be lead gen.
So awesome. Let's take a step back, because I know that one of the things I hear from new realtors is like, I don't have anybody to call. So what does lead generation look like if I don't have anyone to call? So that's a valid question. I can remember feeling so overwhelmed in my first year. I had come from a very structured sales environment where I was, my calls were dictated to me. And in moving into an entrepreneurial environment like a real estate business, you sometimes don't know up for down. And so, Roland, what you've illustrated there is talking a little bit about time blocking and a little bit about building structure in your day. And I love that for you, the morning works for you in terms of doing those structured lead generation contact, and the afternoon for servicing. It might not work for everybody. There's no set standard or template, but you need absolutely, with 100% certainty, you need to be putting effort out into the world to be in communication and contact with people about the fact that you're in business and you are available to support them. And so sometimes lead generation looks like producing awesome content for your social channels. Sometimes lead generation looks like going to the local community center and committing to having 5 organic conversations with people who are around you in the library. Sometimes lead generation looks like committing to doing a weekly open house and having intentional conversations with the people that are coming into the property. But with certainty, lead generation is proactive conversations and communications and interactions with prospective clients or prospective referral sources. So if you're talking with your aunt who just bought a home and she's not moving for another 25 years, that's okay. That's still a valid and valuable conversation, because you're talking to her about how you can support folks and how it would be amazing if she could share the contact information for somebody that you might be able to call today who could be curious about learning more about the real estate market. So, I think that one of the biggest mysteries for new realtors is like, who the heck do I call? Can we spend a minute there, partner? Just think back to your first year. You had no database, so to speak, or you had the impression perhaps that you didn't have a database.
Yeah, I think that you nailed it there, Connie, that everyone feels that who do I call? I have no clients. And there certainly are realtors that are starting the first year that might have moved to Vancouver, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, from another profession, from another part of, the world, and they literally don't have a database in Vancouver. And I'll touch on that in a minute. But I would say that majority of realtors, if you've spent a number of years or a long time in the area that you're choosing to be a realtor, you have a database. You might not know you have a database. You also have habits. And so the database is what you need to develop. You need to kind of sit down and think of all the people that love and support me for who I am, and so document them. Then you need to think of all the people that you've helped in the past that you're going to document as well. And the goal when you are working through this initial list is to kind of brainstorm everyone who already knows you, and they don't know yet that you are in the real estate world, that you're going to become a great realtor, and this is your new profession. And so the whole goal is to, before you start running, is to put on your shoes, so to speak, by creating a long list of people that know, like you, and are aware of you in a previous role. And after you do that first step, the time is spent on reaching out to them, communicating to them the new focus of your career, of your passion, and getting the core information from them after you get permission to add them to your future database, and explain to them that you are going to create a real estate business that's thriving, that has events, that has value that you want to share with your database. So you'll be calling them periodically, you'll be sending them emails and texts and inviting them to different events. So you're creating a value proposition that everyone's, if they know and like you, is going to say, heck yeah, include me on that. Here's my address, my email, my phone number, and my birthday.
Totally.
And that's the core that you work from.
So one of the things that, 15 years in, I feel like I'm doing much, much better job of, and I wish that I had started in my first year, is actually committing to a singular place where I'm recording and storing the contact information for these prospective folks in your, what we'll refer to as your sphere of influence. So that's referred to as a CRM or a client resource manager. There are a variety of options available. I know that for our team, we use Command, which is an amazing piece of software that integrates with Gmail and Facebook and all everything that we need it to do. It does. And one of the important reasons why you want to make sure you're storing all of this information in the same place is because it is literally going to be your bank of business. It is where you keep all of the relevant pieces of information, from the loosest lead of all time, I may be thinking about buying in 5 years, keep in touch with me, Connie, to like, it was so nice to meet you at this open house. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to have a cup of coffee. Like, please reach out to me next week and let's sit down and talk. Hot lead, right? So those are like opposite ends of the same continuum, exactly, which is building a base of a list of people you have interacted with, that you are communicating with, and that you intend to continue to communicate with. And the cool thing about really effectively managing this database in your first year is you're starting from fresh. It's such a cool opportunity. And so a really simple way to do that is start with some of your social channels, and start with the people in your social channels that are like actually part of your, what you might consider to be your sphere. So that might be past clients, folks you've been on sports teams with, people that you've been involved in other artistic pursuits with, whatever is your thing that you're into, that you do, you may want to add those people into your database, and then make an effort to call them and reach out to them. And that's hard. I know that's hard. Call reluctance is so real. It is a very real thing. And absolutely nothing happens until you are in communication with somebody. They can't know that you're thinking about them, and they don't know that you're in real estate until you actually tell them that you're thinking about them, you're in real estate, and you'd like to help them. And so a really powerful step in your first year is really to commit to whatever you're structuring as your business days, every business day, to open up your CRM and to review it and to feed it every single day. And that looks like, had a wonderful conversation with Mary today. She's thinking about buying in 3 years, and I'm leaving myself a reminder so that when I call Mary again, maybe halfway through the year, I can say, hey, Mary, thank you so much. We had a great chat in January. When we were talking in January, you were saying that you were planning to do X, Y, and Z. I can reference back to this conversation that we had, which makes somebody else feel like you've listened to them. And then the conversation picks up from there. It's not a brand new conversation. It's a continuum. It might look like, hey, Mary, I know when you talked to us in January, you're looking to buy in 2 years, but I just wanted to give you a little update. It's always nice to stay up to speed. How are things going at your new job? Here's a little update on the market. You're looking for this type of product, and here's what we're seeing in that product category. And if I've done a good job of recording some of these initial conversations, I'm always going to have a reason to call and a little something to share. Another piece around the why you're calling is, for me, I've made a personal commitment to always be in touch with people out of authenticity, because I'm thinking about them and because I want to share something with them. And that might be literally just saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. I know you're, I just reached out to a client and a friend this morning just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Your family is expecting another child this year. I'm really excited for you. It feels very different. I'm a parent myself, so I know that the second go round with with a new baby is a very different experience than baby number one. And I hope all is well. Like, the intention with my interaction was not to get a reply back. This person is very busy. I don't need a reply back, but more just that outbound interaction to say, I'm thinking about you, allows the next conversation that we have to feel a little warmer.
Great tips there on how you approach it, and kind of bringing it back to, what if you've just moved into the city and you want to be a realtor and you literally don't have a database?
Mm-hmm.
So a few tips that I might suggest that you could do, and it comes from authenticity and a mindset of wanting to serve, is really understand the type of business you're going to offer, the service you're going to offer, and then go find ways of telling that to people. So one idea I have is, if I was brand new in a city, wanting to be a realtor, I would create a service directory. I would, reach out to plumbers, electricians, caterers, different service providers in an area I want to work, and be truthful. And I want to create this service directory that I'm going to share with my future clients, and at no cost to you. I can feature you on a page under the electrician, one of 3 that I'll share with my future clients, and hopefully you get some business from it. And just that activity will have you speaking to dozens, maybe hundreds of people. They will appreciate, you indirectly helping them grow their business at no cost to them, and magic could happen from that. Or
yes,
you find some type of a networking club
yes.
and group where everything starts from, as you said, Connie, from being authentic and giving. You could join a Rotary club. You could find, you could
join a sports team. Like, sometimes getting involved in these network marketing groups can be hard, right? Because there's only one seat for every professional. But again, if you enjoy, I was just, as we were just talking with an incredible business person earlier today, and he was talking about getting back to playing hockey, which was one of his passions. I know for myself personally, one of the ways in which I built community, literally as a brand new person in Vancouver when I arrived here, I didn't grow up here and I didn't go to school here, so I didn't really have a network. What I did was I joined a sports team. I joined a softball league, and it was a life-changing experience for me. First and foremost, I've met some of my most dear friends within that community, and also I've been able to support many, many, many clients that have come from or have learned about me through that particular community. And so there's always, whatever it is that you're passionate about, Go out and find it, and be sure to make, one of the ways in which I'm getting out of my own way is I'm learning that my real estate business is part of who I am. So I don't keep it a secret anymore. I used to feel shy. People don't like realtors, or all the other things, the stories that we tell ourselves. And the truth is, I provide an amazing service. I'm excellent at what I do. I come at it with sincerity, authenticity, and an incredible wealth of knowledge. And I'm not interested in being quiet about it anymore. And so I'm really direct. Like, if I'm chatting with somebody, and often, for example, I'll have a conversation with like a new parent, for example, our kiddo is now going to school. So meeting lots of the school community, which is amazing. And I've invited, we do a lot of events on our team. That's just one of the things in which we love to do. And that's a lead generation activity for us. And I've invited some of these new friends to events, and I've had a couple say, no, thank you. I have a relationship with a great realtor. And I say, amazing. I'm not at all trying to interfere with your relationship with your great realtor, but please come and join me. Come and have a pie. I'd be very happy to give you one. And the truth is, my invitation is not in an effort to gain your personal business necessarily. I'm very happy to share with you that I'm a great realtor, and I'm always a good option if you want to share my name with your friends and your family. Great. And otherwise, I'm also a community member. I'm a mom, I'm a human in the world, and I'm a parent at this school, and please just come to the event for the sake of enjoying it. And it's really in those areas that I know that you're doing an excellent job of doing that as well in your local community. Like by, joining the book club that you're a part of, the intention is to build relationships.
Definitely. And it comes from not leading with, hey, do you have a piece of business for me? But like hearing that, the local pack needs some sponsorship, or sports team need new tents when it's, raining a little bit more in North Van than other parts of the Lower Mainland. And luckily, when you're not operating from a mindset of scarcity, and you're authentic with wanting to be part of the community and give back, it has a real, cycle to it where in the end, things always seem to work out for me. There's always, business tends to come to me by giving.
Yes.
Connie, you touched on a point there. Like, you're an amazing realtor 15 years into your career, and I'd say you're like, in beast mode with positivity. But we weren't always there, and we had different times where a mindset got in the way.
Oh my gosh, yes.
A recent book that I read in that we covered in the book club is I'm probably going to get it wrong, but I think it's called Soundtracks, and it's something about like changing the song that you tell yourself and changing the way you approach your mindset, and focusing on positive talk versus negative talk. Mm-hmm. And that also leads into real estate with. As long as you're coming from it with authentic value, tell people what you do, and really try and pour into people that want to hear about it, that can benefit from something you can offer.
Yes,
and you do that long enough, and success will follow.
I totally agree. That's so powerful. I remember in my first year feeling like I was unemployed. Like that was my mindset. Like I've got nothing to do. I'm completely unemployed. And I was terrified. And it was a switch in mindset to say, I'm an independent business owner, and my job is to go out and lead generate and create reasons for people to have conversations with me. So again, if you're in your first year in the business, there's a lot of ways in which you can structure your day, your week, your month, and your year so that you can have a successful and thriving business. If you're interested in having a conversation with us, please reach out. Roland Kim or Connie Buna. You can find us at Keller Williams Realty Van Central. You can find us on the old internet. I'm certain I'll be the only Connie Buna you'll find on the internet, and the only Roland Kim you'll find on the internet.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day.